Hi, this might work a bit better. I am, yeah. Oh, pretty good. It's only 10:40 in the morning now, so no, not yet. I'm just getting up. Oh, just a second. False alarm. My boyfriend's on the fire department. That's his pager, but someone pressed it by accident. Okay, it's done now. Yeah. I study nursing school, so most of my like volunteering activities were based around like medical or healthcare. That's why. A little. I have a concussion right now, so. Um, for volunteering, I've been to Honduras, Nicaragua, and then Argentina, and at home as well. But the first one, when I went to Nicaragua, it was Pathway to Progress in Nicaragua, and then in Honduras, it's called Global Brigades. We have it here from our university, and then it was at HQ for Argentina. I've been to Qatar in the Middle East, the United States a good few times, um, around Canada, been to England and Ireland. Um, yeah, we did a lot of fundraising, but most of it was our own money. But we did get like a lot of donations and stuff to bring down for medical supplies and like basic necessities. So we went around to hotels and got like shampoo, conditioner, toothbrushes, all that stuff. Um, yeah, it's there was two people from my class that went down to Honduras with me, but most people don't, but some people do. There's 150 people in my class, so probably out of 150, five or six have gone volunteering somewhere. I find it's kind of all of that. Like it's a great opportunity to travel, which I love, but then you get to learn different cultures and how healthcare works in different cultures and just generally learn like the history and culture as well of just other countries and how people get along. And I'm also learning Spanish, so I've been to all Spanish speaking countries. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a lot better than the computer. They do, yeah. Yeah, I found definitely Argentina, they're a lot rougher because I went to Peru too. Sorry. I went to Peru after Argentina for 3 weeks and like even though they're sister countries, the Spanish in Peru was so much like clearer than Argentina and more gentle. Yeah, well, it was good practice everywhere, It's still the same words that you use, just different pronunciation. So, like if you go independently to volunteer with an organization or without. Yeah, well, what I look for in like when I look for organizations that do it, I always look for someone who has like the meals and the accommodations provided and is in a somewhat safe area compared to some. So those are my main concerns, just to make sure that, everything is organized before I get there. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. But well, like in Nicaragua, we it was pretty dangerous there in the nighttime. So where we stayed, we had gates around it, and we had a guard actually that was there all night. So it cost a little bit more, but it was safe, so I thought it was worth it for me. Um, I guess it depends on the flights too, because like yeah, yeah, the program depending on like for example, IBHQ, if you go to Africa or you go to Argentina, the price once you get down there is around the same price, but it's just getting there. Like for me, it's a lot more expensive to go to Africa than it is to go to Argentina flight wise. So I had to look at that. Now I'm thinking to go to Africa next year, but I have more time to save up for that. So, but for yeah, IBHQ is a lot cheaper in general than the other ones. From what because when I went on my other trips, they were only 2 weeks or, like 20 days or something. And I paid the same that I paid to go to Argentina for 6 weeks. So there's a lot of price difference there. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Mhm. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. And in South America too, there was hostels. So when I went to Peru, we stayed in all hostels. So we only booked a couple weeks, or not even a couple weeks, a couple days in advance for that. But with hostels, there's so many around, and like I wasn't worried about that as much. But just the volunteering side of things in Argentina was I didn't want to have to worry about having a place to stay. Um, like when I'm trying to do my best in volunteering and everything, I didn't want to be worrying about where I was going to stay or where I was going to eat. So I just thought IVHQ was really convenient for that because everything was organized for you. Well, IVHQ and all the other programs that I've gone with. Yes, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Um, with IVHQ, it was only 9 to 1. Well, depending on what project, because I did construction for a week and then elderly care for 2 weeks and disability care for 2.5 weeks. So construction would be, I'd leave the house around 8. You had to take the bus for 10 minutes, um, and get there around 8:30, and you work till 12:30 or 1, and then you head back. Um, elderly care was about a 20-minute walk, and that was about 9 to 1. And then disability care was about a half-hour walk, and that was 9 to 1 as well, yeah. But like with the other, well, that was time to, tour around, see the area. So me and a couple of my friends that I met down there, we'd go for a hike or we'd walk around just the streets just to see, the culture and shop around and stuff. And there was a park nearby, so we could go there. And there was also a kids camp in the evening that we were able to volunteer with. It was just a sports camp. But it was 6 to 9, and supper would start 8:30. So they just saved your supper for you when you got back. Mhm. Um, First I was trying to do physiotherapy, and I just, I almost have my first degree done because you had to do a kinesiology degree and then go away for physio. But with my kinesiology degree, I couldn't get a job. So I decided that instead of going off and doing physio and being in student debt, I'd do nursing first. And, I can work as a nurse before I go up there to get some money. And then even if I'm up there and just do a couple shifts a week while I'm in school for physio. But ever since I've been in nursing, I've kind of taken back that plan, and I think I might just be a nurse because there's so much diversity in it. You can go anywhere, you can do anything. Like there's different. positions in every hospital, so that's why. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Well, it is easy. It's not easy to get a full-time job, but it's a lot easier than other professions. And I'd love to stay in Canada. I can go to the States if I want, or I can go abroad. Like, it's just that the option is there. I like that. So I'd like to go abroad for a couple years, maybe Africa or somewhere like that, somewhere far away, and then come back and settle down. And the flexibility is there with nursing to do that. So, mhm, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, well, mostly the treatment's different for every sickness, but it's, the same basic care. So, it's nice to learn about other sicknesses too, so just to be aware of them. It's 8 more years of school and a lot of money. Yeah, 4 years of medical school, and then you do 4 years of residency. And then if you want to specialize, you have to do 2 more years. So it could be 8 to 10 years. Yes, yeah. You have to pass an interview, and well, you have to. It's called the MCAT exam. You have to pass that, and then you have to apply and try to get an interview, which for people here usually takes 2 years just to get an interview. And then you have to pass the interview, and then you hear back 6 months later or something. So, yeah, it's a long process to be a medical doctor. No, you have to have yeah, you have to have a degree first before you write the MCAT. So, like, someone could do nursing and then write the exam and then apply to med school, or you can do engineering and then apply. Like, it doesn't matter what degree, you just need a degree. I don't know. I don't know. So overall, it's like 12 to 14 years of school to be a doctor. Yeah, really? Wow. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Homeopathy, did you say? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Oh no, I know what you mean now. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it'd probably be around there. I'm not really sure. Well, mine is actually known to be, like the university here in Newfoundland is known to be pretty cheap. So it's about 3,000 a semester. So that would be 16 semesters. So yeah, about 60,000. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. As long as you have your MCP card. It's it's kind of like if you're a resident of Canada, then it's just your medical and like your medical care plan is what it stands for. But basically, you just had to be a resident in Canada to get the card, and then it's just your healthcare number is on it. So through that, you can. We do have to pay for insurance. Insurance is separate. So, say have, uh, if we go into hospital, we don't have to pay for the care in hospital. But for our drugs, for our prescriptions, you have to pay. Most insurance companies, you'll pay the insurance company, and then you'll probably pay 25% for your prescription drug, then and like specialty appointments, so occupational therapy, physiotherapy, stuff like that. Basically, other than being in the hospital or seeing just your general practitioner, you had to pay a certain percentage depending on the insurance. What is it? Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not really that say it's mostly for CAT scans, for MRI scans. Like you usually have a few weeks to a few months to wait. But if it's something immediate, if it's urgent, say if it feels like your appendix is gonna break, then you get in right away. So it's all ranked on like severeness. So say if I just had a little pain in my knee and I needed an MRI, I could wait probably 3 months and have a little bit of pain. But people who break their knee or other things like that, they'll get in before me. But it's because they're a more severe case. And I was just gonna say everything's ranked like according to where it is in the body and how severe. So if it's a heart, your heart, if it's any heart problem, it gets in right away. And then if it's a head problem, it goes in right after heart. And then anything else in the body, pretty much, well, lungs, kidneys, liver, that'll go in after that. And then bones is kind of like the last. So if you break a bone, you'll get a cast in the same day, but you just might not get you'll get an x-ray and a cast. X-rays are pretty quick, and just seeing a doctor or anything like that is same day kind of thing. It's just the MRI and CAT scans really, and surgery. What's that? Sorry. Oh yes, yes. Pregnancy, you get in right away. If you're in labor, you'll be upstairs in a hospital bed within 10 minutes. Yeah. Well, we pay higher taxes, so we pay 15% on anything that we buy that goes to the government. So that kind of pays for our healthcare. Oh, yes, yes. Like we call it baby bonus here. So you get it, I think well, it depends what your income level is, but so you can get it monthly or every 3 months. And we also have baby packages now. So you get um, every child's birthday for the first 5 years, you get a box and it has toys and books and some age appropriate things. Yeah. So say for a 1-year old, you'd get a picture book that you can feel some of the textures and some blocks that they can stack and stuff like that. Yes, that's for free. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a new initiative. They just brought that out. I think it was 2 years ago now. So it's pretty new, but it seems to be going really well. Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, I think it's more just supplies. So when I was mostly, I saw the most variation in Nicaragua and Honduras, but they just didn't have. what they needed to do the job. So like they have some band-aids, but they don't have any sterile environment to do surgery. They don't, well, they have very limited, and you have to travel for a far distance to get there, and many people there can't travel, so they end up doing it like with midwives in their house, which isn't a sterile environment at all. So, that leads to a lot of infections and a lot of things gone wrong, basically. So, it, yeah, so we the first program I went, they provided the vaccinations for the kids that were sponsored by the program. And then the second one in Honduras, they were provided with them, but they had to get to the hospital again. So they don't have just a city bus that can take them right to the hospital or anything. They have to find transportation. Like we had clinics in three different locations, and all the times, like people were coming saying that they walked 2 or 3 hours just to come to the clinic, just to see a doctor. So, like, it's just that rarity of that in the community or that close to have any doctor or any kind of medical checkup. So they really don't have any regular, like, I don't know about you, but we go every 6 months or so just to, even if there's nothing wrong, just to go to the doctor and just have a checkup. Or the dentist, you go once a year. The optometrist, you go once a year. But they don't have the option to do that. So they have to go whenever it's provided for them. Yeah. Um, yeah, they're covered in insurance too. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, insurance covers, like you have to pay into it, but it covers a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking that next summer. 2 years. I've done 2 years of nursing, but I did 3 years of kinesiology before it, so I have all the electives done, so all the extra courses and stuff. So nursing for me will take 4 years in total. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, for foreign languages, it's definitely harder because even for me, like it's just such big words and everything is called a different thing than you think it would be. So, but it's a lot of studying, it's a lot of work, but you get your break. I I find it, well, I did kinesiology before, so compared to that, it's a lot harder. But like kinesiology, I'd study 2 weeks before the exams, and that's all, just to prepare for them. But for nursing, like I have to study, you have to keep up on it. You have to study every day for an hour or two. So yeah, it's definitely challenging, but it's good. Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, we do have final exams and we have midterm exams. So the middle of the term, we have an exam and there's lots of projects and assignments and there's clinical placements. So you actually go to the hospital and work on what you learned for usually 3 weeks or 4 weeks a semester. And yeah, there's all of it, all of the work. Assignments, group projects, papers, 2 exams. So it's a lot of work, but a semester, yeah. But during the summer, usually our clinical goes into the summer. It's called a preceptorship. So we're one-on-one with the nurse in the hospital, and we kind of have to do their job while they watch us. So that'll usually go on for 2 months into the summer. 5 or 6 every semester. So in total, it would be, yeah, like 40 to 50 subjects. Yeah.